It triggered me because my dad died suddenly of a heart attack. My uncle was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's triggered all these things. And I actually started getting existential crisis of everything I know will be gone. So with ayahuasca, I told her I would like you to teach me how to fully receive. And obviously through the Vipassana, I learned it's all about sensation. So teach me how to receive any sensation. And panic attack was coming up right near the start because I've heard stories. And it was my first time sitting with her. And it was just, that's the best way I can describe it. I vibrated into it. Hello, welcome to the penultimate episode of Who on Earth Season 1. Episode 24 is a special one because I've only gone and flipped it on his head, haven't I? My good friend Hannah Reid suggested, why don't you be the guest for once? I'll come in, I'll be the host, I'll ask you some questions and we'll do a deep dive into my relationship with meditation. So you're going to get meditation with Michael. Now, I'm not going to go on too much. There's going to be enough of me talking as it is. Guys, if you could do one thing, if you like what it's all about, the show, a little taparoo on that like button goes a long way to supporting the show, massively helps. Now, before we get on to that, Transmute's just opened a new place where it's in the Northern Quarter. If you haven't heard me say about it already, you're going to be excited when you see it. There's loads of floating meditation journeys. I'm going to have classes there, workshops, but there's so much more. So here's a few words about our good sponsors, Transmute Studio. So Transmute's Northern Quarter Manchester City Centre studio is officially launched. It was such a good weekend. We had, funny enough, Craig Seaton from episode 2 doing the yoga. We've also had Nigel Meadows doing breath work. We had Gabriela Perez doing a shamanic sound journey. We had Broccoli doing live music. Myself was doing a floating meditation journey. Wizardry, he couldn't help himself but put on an Arignani. There was African drumming, African dancing. It was popping off. We had fresh juices, cacao, food, organic food as well. Right, I tell you what, I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what's to come. We're going to have a cool little advert as well of all that soon, which we'll drop in maybe the next episode or maybe even season 2. But guys, go check out Transmute. That's my point. Creativity, culture, wellness, all wrapped up in a beautiful space that the founder, Joshua Obazuki's just, well, he's put a lot of work in, let's say that. So go check it out. Details are in the description, but now enjoy episode 24. Okay.
That's really nice.
So we're doing a little reverse, aren't we?
Yeah.
Meditation with Michael's, spotlight on me.
Yeah, it's a very exciting episode.
No, thanks. I appreciate you coming down.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I feel like this episode will be really good for like listeners to gain like a better understanding of your story, why you do what you do, and also just more of a deeper understanding of meditation as an ancient practice. So speaking of, I was wondering if you could open today's episode with a short meditation.
Well, I don't really know any meditations.
Okay, cut.
Sorry, it's just Michael today. There's no, yeah,
just Michael, no meditation.
So unless we're operating heavy vehicles or machinery, I'd advise people to close down the eyes. But before we even do that, a little thing that I actually will bring in is I always advise we come in with surplus energy from the past moment. Now, if we've got a shake, a stretch,
I could do some shaking.
Yeah, sighs, laughs, cries, whatever it is, roars. Just if you're too hot, take some off. If you're cold, like change position, whatever it is you need to do, give that permission to move before you go into a state of non-moving. Now, it's the start, so obviously we'll do one that's good to get into. Now, I'll ask you a question, actually. What do you think your best friend in meditation is?
I would say silence to help you focus, but I feel like,
You are silence. Well, we'll get into that.
Okay, that comes later.
The breath. You've always got the breath. Siddhartha taught that's the one thing to focus on, because if you haven't got the breath, well, you're a bit more fucked than worrying about meditation, aren't you? So come back to the breath. You've always got that. That's your anchor. That'll plant you in the present moment. So let's maybe do a little breath meditation.
Absolutely.
My favourite for all situations, there are different ones, but the one, my base one that I would go to is known as vagal breathing. Okay. So this one stimulates the vagus nerve. Now that's known as the wandering nerve, goes into all your major organs, all the major parts of the body. When you breathe in this way, it stimulates it. That I can't help but induce relaxation. It's a fantastic way just to soothe, regulate, rebalance, ground into the present moment. And then I think once people have got that, they can really become present with, hopefully, a good episode of Who on Earth.
Yes,
so when you're ready,
sounds amazing.
Get your shakes out, stretches, movements, whatever we need to do.
Noises.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Let's go.
Now, I always like to close my eyes down when I'm doing this because we're going to be going internal, aren't we? So let's get rid of that external stimulation, so our data to process through the eyes. Let's just drop down that eyelids. And vagal breathing is as simple as breathing in for 4 seconds through the nose and out through the mouth for 4 seconds. And then you pause briefly for 1, almost like you're pressing a reset button. And then back. 4 in through the nose. 4 out through the mouth. Hold. And keep repeating that cycle of 1, 2, 3, 4, and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. Allow the breath to allow the mind, body, and spirit to align. And hold for 1. And just keep allowing that regular cycle of the breath to soothe you into a state of relaxation. And thoughts may arise, sensations may arise, emotions, even the external world will fight for that attention. Now, it's not our job to resist. Our job is to play the game of vagal breathing. We just come back to the breath. So not resisting, just controlling where our focus goes. Feel the expansion on the in-breath, creating space for what's within. And on that out-breath, soften, release the stagnant. And on that 1, just allow the stillness to just hold you for a moment and repeat. Let's do a few more cycles. There's no pain in a breath, no anxiety in a breath, nothing to worry about. The breath is simplicity. It's in and out, in and out. There's no responsibilities in a breath. Just witness. Feel any soothing sensations, but also feel any dense sensations. Allow them to just process. The body craves equilibrium. So does the mind. This is your way of getting out of the way of a body that took an eternity to perfect. It knows what to do. Just come back to the breath. Let's do a couple more cycles. In through the nose for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And out through the mouth. Hold. And then when you're ready, guys, come back to the room. And thank you for coming to meditation with Michael.
Thank you so much. I didn't want to come back to the room. I was really enjoying the
breath
soothing.
Is happening here. It's happening now in a body that's safe. Mindful breathing can't be done by an animal that's in a survival state. Yeah. You don't see a mouse running away from the owl and going, one moment, let me just mindfully breathe. Yeah. So you're showing those different parts of yourself straight away. Oh, we're in a safe place. We've got everything we need. We've done everything we need to do.
Yeah. That safety from within you as well.
Exactly.
So that you can always come back to your breath.
Always
have that resource.
Like I said, if you can't get back to the breath, we've got a few more problems and meditation to deal with, eh?
Yeah. Amazing.
So I hope that just helped people to drop into the space that they're in now, and we can hopefully have a lovely conversation.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling much more grounded, which is amazing.
Proof's in the pudding, eh?
Sure is. So, Michael, tell me about your journey with meditation and the role it has played in your life so far.
That's a big question, isn't it? To start with. Maybe I should start with how I came into meditation. Obviously, you've heard of it, just like you heard of yoga, just like you've heard of taking care of your health through nutrition. I wasn't living it at all. And I actually got to a point where I was living in Australia with an ex-girlfriend, and I was so disconnected. I got to the point, to be honest, where it was either top yourself or do something about it. That was the point I was at. And something in me's just got like this. I've even got a sign when I wake up: a winner never quits, a quitter never wins. And there's something in me just can't do that. It just can't. I can't put that on my family and my friends. But also, I do also love life.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, we have to do something about it. And for me, that started with just going to the gym, stopping drinking because I was an absolute mare. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I was a binge drinker. I was a Manchester party boy. To take care of myself through the gym, and then I was struggling to sleep. That's what it was. I was struggling to get to sleep. So I just got this Calm app, and it was meditations to help me get to sleep.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
2 minutes for me was a nightmare.
Really?
Seriously, my mind's very active. I was a very restless person as well. I never felt safe in my body. So that's why I'm running away to drugs and others and women and betting or whatever it was. I basically couldn't be more addicted to getting away from how I felt.
Yeah.
Which obviously to people who knew me, but people who didn't know me then, like, you were like that. Like, yeah. So I just...
It's like you're a completely different human now.
I was telling you in the car, like, that's not the same. He's got a few similar interests, you know, he has got an essence of, but like, I'm a completely different person because I allowed myself to change.
Yeah.
And for me, meditation, it's actually our truest self. What I'm actually teaching people is concentration, how to keep returning to the version of you, that the listener, the observer, the feeler, not the feeling. So for me, meditation is the one panacea, and everything else is fantastic. But if I can fully witness and process, no matter what it is, I'm free. I can just be with whatever arises, and then it's not driving me anymore. These unconscious behavior patterns of being averse to a certain sensation or craving a certain sensation, I can just witness them rather than let them drive me, because sometimes that's old programming.
Right.
And child parts of ourselves are still driving the ship.
Yeah.
Because we never taught them there was better ways to go about it, whereas meditation allows us to witness the behavior pattern and almost redirect the neurological pathway to a healthier process, which is, you're a human being. You came here to experience a human experience. Humans don't always feel happy. Sometimes they feel sad.
Wait, what?
I know, right? This is a crazy concept, but we're actually meant to sometimes be sad. Sometimes we're meant to depressed or anxious. Inner peace is not you being fully happy and joyful all the time. It's you being at peace with how you feel.
Accepting it.
Exactly. Outer peace is me and you chatting and listening to each other and understanding each other. Inner peace is you just doing that for the different parts of yourself. Meditation helps me do that, plus other practices as well. But that's the one that sort of is my... Well, I'm meditation with Michael for a reason. So yeah, there was a big answer for a big question. There's probably a load of bits that I could have added on, but...
And is there like any like significant moments like that maybe something has shifted with meditation that you can like distinctively remember? Like,
again, there's
so many,
but if I like to see what arises when somebody says a question. I don't need the perfect answer. It's the one that arose with me. And when you said that, it was, I did a Vipassana, which is a 10-day, 100 hours meditation, silent retreat. And basically you can imagine how much you have to sit with if you're doing 100 hours in 10 days. And it got to the point where I still can, but I get panic attacks. My body goes, oh my God, what's happening? And then my mind goes, fuck, how do we get away from this? How do we can control this? And then what Vipassana showed me was, it's just sensation. They're all interesting. Just go into it. So I actually had a moment where I was so this is right at the end, 10 days without speaking. And then all of a sudden everyone can speak. So the overwhelm was incredible. My body's like, what the fuck's going on? Everyone's like, there's like all this commotion when there's been such peace and serene equanimity. And then I had this panic attack at the food table, like literally panic attack, which
Wow.
used to debilitate me. I'd just go run and get some sort of drug or anything, just anything I could do. Just not that. I used to beg on women not to leave me. If it was a girlfriend, please just take care of me. I'm having a mare.
Yeah.
Whereas, so this has been something that's held me back, been almost like got to the point where I didn't want to live anymore because it was so painful to be that way. I processed it I got to the actual food bit. I picked my plate up, panic attack, got to the food bit.
Wow.
You just need to be felt. You need to you're just a vibration, and vibrations going quite extreme create a lot of energy, and this energy is creating sensation, which I find hard to hold. But if my conscious is infinite, and a sensation is not, and the infinite shouldn't be scared of the finite, so just hold it, just like a mother holds a child, just like...
I always remember you telling me that about anxiety, like thinking of it as a sensation that will pass. And now when I have these moments of like anxiety and I feel it within my body, it's like it doesn't become me anymore.
But
like, I'm not anxiety.
Exactly.
It's something that I'm experiencing in that moment, but it will pass.
You're experiencing anxiety. To say I am anxious is to I am anxious. You say I am Hannah, right? So you're now identified fully with anxiety.
And I do that.
I am anxiety.
Yeah.
No, you're in a vessel which is experiencing anxiety.
Yeah.
What is anxiety? It's a warning about the future. You've sent little messages into the future through your mind, which can use its creative imagination to just create
either good or bad
any scenario using patterns of the past.
Yeah.
But those messages bring back real scenarios. You experience them. So I used to get bullied, so I would create a scenario where the bully's going to beat me up. I experience that as if it's happening.
Yeah, as if it's real in the moment.
That's fantastic, because now anxiety is saying, careful, you do that, it could lead to this undesirable outcome. So that's a friend, right? It's looking out for you. Problem is, if you don't open that door to anxiety, it starts banging. Like I use a doctor analogy. If you went to a doctor's and said, I've got this problem, and he went, yeah, I don't want to speak to you, mate. I don't like your problem. You'd be like, excuse me. And you start knocking louder and louder. So then it turns into an anxiety attack, because now it's kicking down the door saying we've got a problem.
Yeah.
And it might have been a load of bullshit that your mind's made up. Well, it's more than likely because your mind made it up. It's not real.
Yeah.
So, anxiety friend, how are you? Yeah. You're worried about that? No need. We're okay. We're in a safe space. Process the sensation, feel it, release. Not even release, transmute. That's another thing I was mindful when you said it. It's not just that it's going to pass, because now we're attached to it leaving us. That's still not fully accepting it for what it is.
Okay.
It needs to be, you are held no matter what you are. And when you decide to leave because you felt your purpose, because its purpose is to let you know there's something to be anxious about. Yeah. It's trying to look out for you.
So you see it, you accept it.
It's ubiquitous between the human race for a bloody reason. It's a fantastic survival tool. Yeah. Not if it's been ignored.
It just doesn't feel that great, does it?
On purpose. You make an animal feel good, it goes towards that thing.
Yes, that's
it's good
true.
for it, right?
Yeah.
It makes an animal feel bad, then it's probably something you don't want the animal doing. Yeah. So we just evolved these sensations because it prompted us to get away from certain situations or go for them. Yeah. But we were unconscious, and we can be unconscious that we are them rather than we are feeling them. It's totally different.
Yeah, totally. So before you mentioned like the observer, could you share a bit more about like what the observer is?
Use an analogy, and I have said it on a few of the episodes. It's the gamer analogy. Okay. I usually use Mario or Sonic or whatever, but when you're playing the game Mario, you're Mario. There's limitations to the character of Mario, which then he can fire balls of fire, but he can only jump so high, he can only do so many things. You're Mario in that moment, but you're not. You're the person playing Mario. You're the controller. You're the person playing. That's the analogy. So Hannah or Michael is the character Mario. Yeah. I'm playing the human experience as meditation with Michael or whatever. But I'm not. I'm the player. And that's what I mean by observer. I'm the essence that feels. I'm the essence that hears. I'm the witnesser, not the witnessed.
I almost got a visual then of like a stage, like a theatre stage, but you're the person who's actually like behind the curtain, like watching everything just unravel.
There's some part of you that just loves experience, so it goes into these little scenarios as a human, or God knows what, which we can get into. But
this is a very important thing I want to point out to people, is you can't disattach. Don't watch it as if you aren't it. You need to fully experience it. That's why you came, to have these experiences. So very important that you go into it. You don't watch it as if it's something separate from yourself. You go into it. And that's why those polarities can be quite confusing to people. They get told one thing, and yes, it is right from one angle. It's just making sure that we don't totally detach from all experience, because then it can be quite a half-lived life.
So how do you help like a student of yours who is maybe facing like challenge or resistance when trying meditation for the first time? Like, how would you?
I mean, it depends. What's the resistance? Let's use you as an example then, because that's so vague. We all struggle in different areas. We have some stuff that we're actually skillful at naturally. So what is it you find difficult when you're meditating?
For me, it's almost like what am I trying to achieve? You know, like I'll go to sit and meditate, and then I'll just get really bored, and I'm like,
your why isn't strong enough.
Yeah,
the why needs to be more important than the what. Any what can be defeated by the strong enough why. And I always teach people is it's a sensation you're after. That's what you either don't like sensation.
I remember you telling me this.
Or you do.
Re-remembering everything you've told me in the past.
Well, that's why you wanted to get me on, wasn't it? Yeah. You're like, can I just interview you?
Let me just make a note.
But yeah, so it all comes from either resisting a sensation or craving one that isn't there.
Yeah.
But both of those, unfortunately, are resisting the actual reality.
Okay.
So what's your why? What is the sensation you're after? For me, to give you an example, is a sense of peace.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the sensation. No matter the chaos, the difficult, the hard to hold sensations, a peace, a sort of loving sensation that's always holding it.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for?
So I sometimes, like, especially through like dance and things like that, I feel like a sensation like more of an open heart, like a lot more like loving, more compassionate. So I would say I would be aiming for an open heart. Is that
so? To me, that would be almost this embracing, this receiving of like sensation. Yeah. So I've been on receiver mode. A good friend, Craig Seaton, who was on the episode 2, actually, I did a session with him, and I didn't even go in for this, by the way. He just figured it out. That's how good he is. But it was around, I have an issue with fully receiving, fully being with you, fully seeing you. I'm always just sort of like, my mind's coming in, but just fully receiving you, fully receiving a sensation. And when I was sitting with ayahuasca, this was really important. I asked her, I went in with intention, which I believe is very important. Your intention is to have an open heart now. So now you've got a why.
Yeah.
The why, the intention is your anchor.
Yeah.
Every time when you're getting bored or lost,
that's my why.
What are you more bothered about, being bored or having a loving heart? I'm more bothered about a loving heart, right? The boredom doesn't matter anymore then. You've got a reason. You've got that thing keep bringing you back. And we realised I couldn't receive. So with ayahuasca, I told her, I would like you to teach me how to fully receive. And obviously through the Vipassana, I learned it's all about sensation. So teach me how to receive any sensation. And panic attack was coming up right near the start, because I've heard stories. And it was my first time sitting with her. And it was just, that's the best way I can describe it. I vibrated into it. I just allowed it. I fully allowed that sensation because I trusted that I could hold it no matter what it was. Next thing you know, I'm laughing my head off. I'm absolutely in hysterics. There's people screaming, people throwing up, people doing God knows what, and that's their journey.
Yeah.
It didn't affect me in the slightest. No, you ever had it where the way somebody else is affecting how you are? I'm sure we can all relate.
Absolutely.
Didn't matter. I was just receiving it and allowing it to pass by. It wasn't my stuff. Bye. I'm laughing. And I'm laughing because the joke was, it was this, you confused yourself again for that sensation, didn't you? You thought that basically, it's almost like this God essence that we all have within us. You thought that was in danger of a panic, of anxiety. You thought God essence couldn't hold anxiety. And it was amusing to me that I'd even been scared. Yeah. And that started spilling into other people. They're laughing, and it was really, and I've used the great thing about using these master medicines with reverence, not just getting pissed on a night out or getting sniffed up or taking a pill. I'm talking going in with the intention to really help upgrade you and heal you and grow, truth, experience life for what it is. I can take that now. I've used it since. I lost my uncle. It was awful. I did go down some old behaviour patterns which were more negative. So that's a thing I like to tell people. I'm not all sorted.
Yeah.
I have my moments where I fall down. I just did a my story about how I fell down.
Yeah.
What helped me up? What do you think helped me up? Meditation.
Yeah.
Being present.
You use your tools, and
I did.
Don't deny the fact that you're also a human having this experience too, which...
Exactly. I'm not God.
Yeah.
I
You're not a guru, Michael.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't even need that label either. Like,
Yeah.
I have parts of me that get triggered because I want to look like Yoda, I want to look like Lao Tzu or Alan Watts or Ramdas, but I'm not.
You're you.
And I'm wanting people to come on the journey with me so they can see when they're having those moments. Oh, if Mike can do it. Because that's all I am. I'm just Mike. I'm just a dude who used to go out partying and learn some stuff that happens to be very powerful for helping you heal.
Yeah.
A healed person usually alleviates suffering, lives more joyfully.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to meditation, I know that there can be lots of misconceptions as to what it is, what it involves, you know. So yeah, could you maybe share a couple of misconceptions that you think are quite common and then address those?
This one, I'm meditating to be calm. I'm meditating to feel that peace, that why is your guide, but it's make sure it's not a rejection of the present reality. Okay. So a lot of people don't realize meditation's more you at your natural essence, that essence I speak to, your soul, whatever you want to call it, your consciousness, that player behind the Hannah. Now, I'm actually teaching concentration. I'm teaching you how to keep coming back to that. What's a good way of doing that? Well, the breath. Because the breath brings you into the present moment, which is where that essence lives in this moment, not in a mind-made scenario, not in a foggy past ex-memory. Like a memory of my dead dad is nothing compared to you that's in front of me. It's a fictionalized, foggy, but the feeling I might get about that memory, now that's happening right now, different, and that's my dad now. He lives within me, not around me. And there's this monk, he's fantastic. Go check him out, Dandapani. He teaches people how to build willpower, because you need willpower to keep coming back, keep coming back. So he teaches 3 things, and I use these all the time. Finish what you start. It takes a bit more willpower, right?
It does.
So that means that you can bring your concentration back more. Another thing to build willpower, do a little bit more than you thought you could. It takes an extra bit. So say an example, I've slept. Finishing what I started is make the bed. Do it a bit more than I thought I could. Or maybe I could put a throw and a pillow on. And then the third one, do it a bit better than you thought you could. Because that takes a bit more. All right, maybe I can just neaten out the creases.
Iron.
Or say the washing the pots. Finishing what you started, now washing the pots would be finishing that. Well, actually, maybe I could rinse them as well. That's just doing a bit more. And doing it the best of my ability. I could probably dry them as well, couldn't I? You know, little things. But each one is not just about the end product of a tidy bed, of a tidy room, of you stretched after a workout, you cooled down after a workout, the pots are gone. That's all great. But the actual point is you've built willpower. Now, why is that important? Because where your focus going, remember, meditation is me actually teaching you concentration. So where your focus is going, that's where your energy's flowing. Where your energy flows, well, that's what you're going to manifest. That's the fuel behind.
Almost.
So basically, what I'm teaching you is how to manifest what you actually want. Now, if you're unconscious and you're letting old patterns take you down, old rabbit holes, and they're negative ones that you then have those messages give you these horrible sensations constantly, your life's suffering. Then now that suffering blocks, it dulls the light of life, the beauty that's actually in front of you, because you're too busy concentrating on what you don't want. You're not seeing everything that you've been given.
That's around you.
Now meditate. But if you can direct your attention back on processing everything you felt, that probably the best way is that you didn't want to feel. You can release yourself from all that. Now you're lighter. All of a sudden you're noticing the bird. You're noticing the beauty of the person in front of you. You're noticing the little quirks that you weren't noticing before. Life becomes this beautiful myriad of experiences rather than this stick that the universe is hitting you with. So
it's more colour.
That's a misconception, and that's also like, it's not about getting the calm. The calm is a byproduct. You can't be funny by trying to be funny. You're either bloody funny or you're not. You can't be sexy. You either are sexy or you're not. Trying basically saying it's not. Why would I have to try? I don't have to try to have black hair. I've got black hair. So to be calm, you must be calm. It's as simple as that. Well, what's getting in the way of the calm? This feeling here. Feel that feeling, but with love, and not like imagine only ever helping someone because you really want them to fuck off. they'll feel that. There's something in us that just knows that there's not a genuineness to it.
Your intuition.
So do your parts. The anxiety knows you're really just trying to feel it to get rid of it, rather than fully accepting it. Have you ever had it where someone's not accepting you for who you are? I'm sure definitely. A million thoughts come to your head when I say that.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing to those energies within you. They're just energy. And they aren't getting felt. You're the only one who can feel that sensation. No one else can do it.
Yeah.
That bit of you never gets to exist if you reject it. So you're rejecting what only you could ever feel. You're that special to the universe that only you can feel it. And then you resist it. So it's like, that's going to get trapped in you till it gets felt. And then you'll reincarnate as somebody else with anxiety.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of it.
I was thinking this in terms of like resisting pain as well. And you often hear like the only way out is through.
Truth.
Know, so
it is because you are in pain.
Yeah.
Why is pain such an issue?
Yeah.
Because you haven't been taught how to hold it. That's as simple as it is.
Or you think it's forever,
This too shall pass, that phrase.
Yeah.
I should have it tattooed on the inside of my eyelids, because I swear to God, knowing that it's going to pass.
Yeah.
Like, why have an aversion to something that's going to go anyway? Why have a craving for something in the future when that's going to go again anyway? So you're going to constantly be craving it, and you'll never be. That's why that hole's inside you, because it can't be filled.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to crave the next sensation, because you're not content with this moment.
The present.
The misconception is really that you aren't content with this moment. Oh, Michael, I'm sick of my mind being like this. But it is.
Yeah.
I get it. My mind's a million miles an hour. It's a very high processing mind.
Yeah.
It can be a bit drowning, thought after thought, but that mind is only doing that because it doesn't feel safe. So it's trying to solve problems constantly. It's in this solving problem pattern. You can't get out of it. The calmer you're feeling, which comes from processing, the more the mind doesn't feel like it has to solve, but it just quiets naturally. But it's like trying to tell the lungs, could you stop breathing for a bit? It's overwhelming me. No, sorry, that's my job. Mind's job is to think. Simple as that.
Yeah. Amazing.
Are you tired of feeling run down? Maybe you're struggling with some sort of health condition, or it could be as simple as you're not reaching your fullest potential. Well, I found a solution. Isabella Nutrition's here to transform your life, show you the incredible healing power of nature. Let me just introduce to you Isabella Bradford Johnson, a skilled naturopathic nutritionist with a passion for showing you how to achieve optimum health, well-being, with tailor-made nutrition and lifestyle plans. She'll show you how to fill your life with vitality, renewed energy. Now, Isabella firmly believes that your body holds the key to your healing. She just wants to show you how to unlock it. Through the power of lifestyle and diet changes, Isabella will show you how to heal from within. Be that best version of yourself. Now, whether you're looking to improve your overall health or target a specific area, maybe it's gut or hormonal issues where she specialises, Isabella will have expert guidance and support to show you how to have a future filled with joy. Now, it's not about quick fixes, short-term solutions. No, it's about long-term transformation, sustainable results. So stop waiting to take care of your health. Go down to www.isabellabradfordjohnsonnutritionist.uk. Book a consultation with Isabella today. Embark on a journey filled with health, vitality, lasting well-being. Isabella Nutrition, empowering you to live your healthiest life.
So I feel like kind of in the West, meditation is like, relieving stress from your job and, that kind of thing. Can you shed some light on the origins of the practice? Where does meditation come from?
I mean, many different cultures have found meditation because it's one of them. It's not just, they figured it out. Yeah, one guy figured it out and we've
many years ago.
It makes sense
to
sit calm, practice it. You could go into the Vedic one or the Zen one. So I'm not even going to bullshit people that I know the answer to that, but you might say I think it was about 5,000 years ago, there are like little figurines of just meditating. Like it looks like people in meditation postures, and then there's little texts and little things like that. But I mean, do we really know how long back that sort of goes? No. But then for me, the history doesn't matter. It's the patterns. What are Zen Buddhists saying? that they're saying in the Vedic, but that they're also going and saying in the Mayan, and that they're saying in even Christian or Muslim. Why are they all praying? Why do they all fast? But they're all about being fully here, fully now. If they're not, they're trying to twist something. They're trying to. They're using that to try and make you do something. So the history of it is more of just a fun thematic.
Yeah.
What is the lessons that keep coming up to you right now? They're the ones to pay attention to, because they're the ones that were kept through history.
Yeah.
Why that particular mudra? Because they've realised so for those who can't see, I'm holding my thumb to my middle finger. It's known as the Shuni mudra. It actually helps to purify your emotions and thoughts, which can't help but then bring a sense of calm, peace. It's known as the seal of patience.
This one.
Exactly, yeah. So you do that. And what you're doing, these are like antennas. So these are things that have been passed down through history because they bloody work. Yeah. When you sit like that for 5-10 minutes, or you're in a queue even, or you're driving and you just got your hand around the wheel like that. Well, this is like an antenna. Your body is channeling energy in a certain way. So this one's prana. Now that one releases stagnant. Then you've got Gyan, which helps increase the ability to concentrate. Surya, that helps the fire element. What does fire element mean? It just means an intensity of energy. So it channels energy in a way that warms within.
Right,
So they've all just been used.
Amazing.
So those are the sort of stuff that's been passed down.
Yeah.
People say, what meditation do you teach? Well, why the hell would I limit myself? The second I say that, I'm limited to the philosophy, the ideology.
I was going to ask you, like, are you influenced by any particular philosophy?
All of them. My own experience working with the master medicines. The Hatha yoga people who have taught me. The Vipassana guys down at Dharma Deepa. Alan Watts, Ram Dass. You just telling me a snippet of a friend who says, if you hug to the right, then your heart's and you're having a heart-to-heart hug. Little things. Thich Nhat Hanh from the, all these different people influence me. And then that's what I think people want, mum and dad, government. Mum and dad, religion, somebody to tell you what to do. For me, true power comes from trusting your own intuition. Like, look, I don't need to export, or whatever you might say, my own knowledge of meditation to, I have to do it that particular way or that particular way.
Or that's the right way.
Do you know what? Maybe it's the right way for that million people, but there's another 8 billion people on the other side who that doesn't work for. So you need people like me saying it a certain way who maybe is more aligned with you, or the guy down at the pub goes, I like him, he sounds but that's why I can't be this fake version of me being like, hi everyone.
Oh, don't do the voice.
Yeah,
don't do the voice.
It has to be authentic.
It's the love and light voice.
Yeah.
Like, hi.
Oh, hi guys.
I'm like so enlightened right now.
So grateful.
So grateful.
So grateful, right? Like, do you know what? If I'm not grateful, I won't say anything. I'll just process it.
Sometimes I'm like not feeling grateful.
But yeah, sorry that I couldn't quite give you like this definitive answer, but it's influenced by so many, like the Tao Te Ching. Am I a Taoist? No, I'm not a Taoist, but I've read the whole book. I've listened to it over and over again. It's all about getting those bits and creating the Michael religion. What is God to me? What is the universe to me?
Do you have any favourite quotes? I love a good quote.
I am literally Mr. Quote. I write 2 quotes a week. A good one that I could use is this too shall pass is a fantastic one for sure. It's through hardship that ease will come, not the other way around.
That's an important reminder.
So you've got to go through the hardship, endure, process, maybe have that stoic mindset of where's the opportunity in the obstacle. And one, I don't know if this is a quote, but just, it's okay to relax. It's okay to relax. And I get my girlfriend to actually say that.
It's okay to relax.
Yeah, because she said it once and it was like, all my system went...
It's like permission slip, isn't it?
It was like, oh shit, I forgot it's okay to relax.
Yeah.
And then look at Usain Bolt. When he's crossing that finish line, is he stretching like everyone else, or is he like looking to the side going, 9 seconds something, but he's relaxed? Because you're optimum when you're relaxed. Like, there's no situation where you being relaxed will make you less effective in it. Not passive, not led on the floor. I can be trying my hardest at the gym, but
you're more connected to your body as well. you know.
Of course.
When you're relaxed, you're just more in tune.
Well, you're not in a state of overwhelm. You're on receiver mode. You're on receptor mode.
Yeah.
Like, just for a second, everybody, if you're not driving again, put your palms down facing your thighs. Just do that for a few moments. Close the eyes if you've got the chance. And this is channeling your energy and attention inwardly. Now, just put your palms facing upwards. Now you're on receptor mode to stuff higher than yourself, outside of yourself. Put your palms back again onto the thighs. Internal processing mode. And then palms up, receive mode. Can you feel a shift in the energy? Can you feel a change of maybe sensation? That's because you're channeling your energy in different ways. But anyway, back to the podcast. I just thought it was very interesting and a practical example. Did you notice any shift?
I did, yeah. And it's also interesting seeing which one I almost need more. Like I was really like, I could almost hear my inner voice being like, keep your hands down, like ground, you know. And then when I was up, it was like, oh yeah, we need to ground a bit more before we...
You want insight from something beyond yourself.
Yes.
Palms up.
Yeah. I've
got anxiety. Well, what, you got your palms up? No.
Ground inwards.
Go into the anxiety that's inwards. I'm listening to some music like Wizardry or Nikki last night.
Yeah.
I had my palms up because I was receiving them.
Yeah, it's funny when you dance as well. It's almost like your palms are up and like you are literally.
But then
like,
when you're being sensual, you might be like palms facing
inwards.
yourself. Exactly, inward. I'm feeling that energy that's in. So yeah, it's
true.
very interesting to understand how having that little understanding behind it, you can then channel things in a skillful way. Yeah. I was at a festival and I had all my friends next to me doing Surya.
Oh, that one.
Because they were freezing. They were all dancing, but they were freezing at the festival.
Should have done that.
Basically, Surya is where you get your ring finger, you tuck it in underneath the thumb. So for those who go out watching, it's there. Like that. But I can't do too many mudras because there's listeners.
Oh yeah. You've got to watch this on YouTube.
It is also on YouTube.
It's available on YouTube to watch if you want to see the mudras. Oh yeah, no, these are really a game changer for my meditation practice.
And you were talking about people who are struggling. Basics.
Yeah.
Basics. Posture.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about posture a second. If
that
you
would
like.
be very helpful. Yeah.
So posture, and this is something I just stress out about. So also be gentle with yourself. You know, you're not used to sitting on the floor. Most of us are Western. There might be a few people who aren't, but most of us are sitting at tables. We're sitting in car seats. We're sitting on couches. So we're not used to sitting correctly. That creates a weakness that's going to have to be overcome, and that happened on the Vipassana. I've had guys stamping my head out. I've had horrible experiences of being hurt. Nothing compared to the pain I sat with. Some of it I think was psychosomatic as well. Yeah. But start with push your sit bones. So push them downwards, the pelvis going downwards. Feel a natural lower curve to the lower back. Spine is long. Maybe close your eyes, even feel it if you can. And then crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Create that length in the back of the neck. But don't lean back, chin slightly tucked in. Now, if the pelvis is higher than the knees, it's going to make the superficial muscles take control rather than the postural. So that basically will then create tension over time. That's where your discomfort's going to come in. So let the postural muscles just hold you. Feel it being held with ease. Now, if the legs aren't supported and the knees are up, that can also bring in the superficial muscles. So get bolsters, get support, by the way, get a meditation cushion. You can't see it because we're using it to prop up a camera, but I always use. Now, obviously that means I'm reliant on it, so I do practice without it as well. But generally, if you need the support, even the posture, but do know that if you're lying down, which was my mistake in the past, I used to lie down because the pain's constantly there and I don't want to feel pain.
I've done that.
So I lie down, then drowsiness comes in. Also, you're passive. One thing that I got taught again was, second you lie down, you've admitted you can't feel that sensation. So whenever that sensation arises in your life, you have taught yourself, I can't feel this. I must be passive and just surrender to it or try and control it. Actually you can work with it, sit with it, feel it. Don't try and figure it out. Just feel the sensation. And then all of a sudden on the 7th day, so this is 7th day of agony.
So this is your silent meditation.
Silent Vipassana. 7 days.
10 days.
So by the 7th day, it was 10 days, but by the 7th day, I dealt with the pain 10 hours a day, 10 hours. So we're on like 70 odd hours. And someone went, I don't care. It's pain. So what? And all of a sudden, someone went, roll your shoulders back. I'd been leaning forward with my shoulders. So you can imagine for 70 hours leaning forward. And that's what I'd been doing my whole life when I'd been meditating. All of a sudden, I lean back now, no pain. Literally no back pain at all. Just because I needed to roll my shoulders and hold myself correctly. That was it.
Wow.
But it was because I surrendered to the sensation, but then worked with it. I never they said that you can have a chair, and I did for 1 hour. I had the chair, and then that ego came in, the masculine, like wanting to be proud, like, oh, I'm meant to teach it, and you can't even sit. I was like, fine, I'll sit with it, and I'm so thankful I did.
Yeah.
It's just pain. It won't kill you. It's just a tickle. It's just an itch.
Yeah.
It's just a bit of discomfort. You aren't gonna die. Just hold it. This is your chance to hold what you usually let run your life. And then shockingly, that'll start happening it'll spill out into just scenarios. I had my car, the windscreen smashed into the bonnet smashed into my windscreen when I was going 60 miles, 70 miles an hour on the motorway.
Yeah.
Calm as hell. I was on the way to a journey, to
Yeah.
one of my events that I do, those floating meditation journeys. And I just went, I best put the hazard on. Dead calm. Slow down gradually, pull to the left. It's not fell.
And you're able to actually respond.
Rather than react.
Yeah.
Rather than react unconsciously, I was, what's the best? Because I'd been so used to sitting hour after hour after hour, the scenario didn't affect me. No shock when my uncle died. Shocker, disclaimer, by the way, I stopped meditating for about a few weeks.
Michael,
I'd rather tell people, so total meditation is something I practice.
Yeah.
This might be something like, if you've heard of Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. It's constant. You don't need to go do occasional meditation and sit. You're constantly present. So I practice that. So I've created such a habit that I'm constantly processing.
Yeah.
But then also I allowed negative behavior patterns. I was so overwhelmed with the grief because it was the 4th core family member that had died. 5th if you count my cat, which I do.
Yeah.
She was 21. So I've known her longer than most of my mates.
Really
but
intense.
I think it triggered me because my dad died suddenly of a heart attack, whereas Gran and Granddad were expected. It was almost like please just let yourself go now. This is Alzheimer's has got you, old age has got you. My uncle was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's triggered all these things. So not only have I got grief, I actually started getting existential crisis of everything I know will be gone and everything I know. And that's what I teach, I sit with. And even I struggled with it.
Yeah.
Like I returned back to these kid parts, but luckily I knew that these practices were going to take me out.
Yeah.
So a few months off, stopped trying to preach. Not preach, I don't preach. I used to preach. Teach. I didn't want to be telling everybody on Instagram, do this, do that when I'm having a moment. So I process it, respect. And then I started doing breath work, started meditating, started yoga. So even I fall down, like I said.
You allowed yourself that space.
I allowed myself to fall down. No, I knew I was consciously falling down. I saw what I was doing and I went, I know these aren't the way through, but clearly there's a part of me that still needs to learn that lesson. Yeah. Go on then. It's okay. Have your little moment.
Yeah.
But we know you're coming out of it. Whereas in the past, there was no hope. There was no because I didn't have anything in place.
Yeah.
I only had weed. I only had party drugs. I only had women. I only had food. I only had cigarettes. So and trust me, they ain't going to sort your shit.
Yeah. Wow.
But now I can have, say, THC oil, but I go into it rather than resist it. And then if it does trigger this addictive, because I've got an addictive personality, the part that seeks in me is strong, seeks something outside of myself. So that's why I'm good at meditation, because I have these parts that are so strong. So they've taught me to keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back.
Amazing. Oh, well, I'm proud of you for working through that darkness. And
it's not easy, but it's part of the game, man. Have you ever watched a film where it's just people smiling the whole way through it? No, we want adversity. It gives life that flavour. That those obstacles are part of it. The stories that touch us the most, the people whose stories, when I'm doing the podcast, who touch me the most, are the ones who shared the most. And it's never just, everything went really well.
Everything was great.
And if it did, how boring.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a reality where when we've had enough bloody human experience for a few eternities, we go to the nice, calm, chilled out place. But right now, your soul essence was brave enough to come and do this because it knew it could.
Yeah.
So just trust yourself a bit more.
Beautiful. Yeah. So true. I'm going to look at my questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you about, is your purpose. Because of course we're speaking about meditation.
So important. So important, purpose. Yeah. I was depressed, ready to kill myself because I had no purpose.
Yeah.
I had no purpose. There was no reason for me. What? Just exist in a state of suffering? That's not purpose. So, you know Gabor Mate?
Yeah, I love.
So fantastically intelligent person and doing
he wrote
a lot.
The Bodies,
Hungry
the Body
Ghosts
Says No,
and all these different studies. Go check him out. I won't go on about him too much. But there was 4 things that have stuck with me that he said. It's connection. That's the reason for because he's an addiction specialist. Connection.
Yes.
So connection to yourself. That's what the meditation will do.
Yeah.
Fully connecting to these sensations, these energies, these parts of yourself. Fully connecting to this inner universe that you have within you. Connection to self. Connection to others. You share this universe with other beings. They are you manifested in different ways. It's the same fire within all of us. It just so happens that we've manifested in all. You've manifested in this beautiful Hannah manifestation. I've done the Michael one. The fish in the corner's done the fish one. So connection to others, witness the other.
Yeah.
Be with the other. There's the second connection. And then connection to nature. Nature, what is nature? Is the universe.
Yeah.
So connecting with the trees, the plants, the sun, the air, the sky, the earth, connecting to all that, because that is you as well. So you're actually just joining the puzzle pieces together. When you disconnect because you don't like how things feel, you disconnect from all. And then there's this isolation, and what's isolated will wither and die.
Yeah.
The rest will feed you. And then the last one, and this is what I've gone the long way of answering your question, is connection to purpose. The meaning behind your essence is reason to even exist in this moment. The why that are spoken about your meditation is also the why behind your life. If you don't have a strong enough purpose, a strong enough why, then when a what turns up, that's difficult, an uncle dying, a dad dying, an anxiety attack, a disability, a horrible situation, a partner leaving you, then that what, there is no why to be stronger than it. It defeats you. Life becomes this horrible nightmare. Purpose takes you out of that. My purpose is to alleviate suffering within myself so that I can show others how to alleviate suffering so that they may live more joyfully. So I can't show you how to do it. If I'm going, I've heard this fantastic monk said do this. Are you doing it? No. How do you know it bloody works?
Podcast.
So I need to know it works.
Yeah.
A good byproduct of that is I actually alleviate my own suffering. Winning.
So
it's a selfish selflessness. I love it. But then also I can show you. Because I love you. I love all of you. Everyone who's listening. And I know as people say this, like, I love you. No, I genuinely know you are me.
Yeah.
I know you're a different manifestation of me, but you are me. And I know how it feels to live wanting life to stop. I know how it feels to have anxiety rule your life, or to have an affliction make every moment fucking horrible. I know how that feels. And
grief
humans,
and pain
exactly.
And loss.
As a human, we have this fantastic ability to empathize.
Yeah.
So if I really witness you, I really allow myself, then I can see the suffering behind the eyes. I can see the sad, and I don't need to know the reasons. They're irrelevant, whatever. There's something I need to teach you that's helped me. And that's my purpose. Because you know what? The fucking world is beautiful. Like, experience is magical. When I've started going into these panic attacks, it feels lovely. It's this part of me that's been rejected and ostracized from all my other parts who said, we can't feel you. You're too much. When it finally gets let back in again. Yeah. And what is it? It might just want to be expressed. What does that sound like? Yeah. Or maybe a dance move. Usually or maybe it's a poem. Or maybe it's just a scream. Maybe it's a laugh. But meditation allows you to fully process it, fully be with it. That's why it's the true power. What if I don't have the space to move? What if I don't have to? What if everyone's asleep? I can't just scream and wake everybody up. Meditation. Well, those parts of yourself just need to be witnessed. And maybe sometimes this really, I'll call it horrible because we need labels, but this horrible sensation. Oh, I can't feel it. It turns into aggression. Because defenders turn up and go, we can't feel this. There's a vulnerable part of us thinking, oh, I can't feel this. So then anger comes in and you come over and then, oh, I want to make you the same as me. And then it becomes this.
I was going to ask you about frustration. Like,
restlessness is one of the 5 enemies of meditation. So we'll play a game. What do you think the 5 enemies of meditation are? I'll just give you one. Restlessness.
Restlessness. Enemy of meditation.
I'll tell you what, this might take a while, shall I?
Yeah. You better hurry up.
Aversion to whatever's arising is resistance.
Yeah.
Attachment, craving. So those are the 2 different. I want something I don't have, or I don't like what I do have.
Yeah.
All are resisting the current moment.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to then create this block. You've now created a block to the flow of energy because your mind has gone, not that.
Yeah.
So you're resisting it. But then it turns into this uncomfortable sensation.
Yeah.
Because now energy's being trapped. It wants to get out. It wants to be released. And you've kept it trapped like a caged animal.
Yeah.
But then you don't have any practice. You don't have meditation. You don't have breath work. You don't have expressive ecstatic dance or art, whatever. So you push it down into your psyche. That's why the issue's in your tissue. That's why it's manifested in your body, because it is within you. And I can now feel the atomic structure of my body. I can sit and concentrate so sharply that I can feel where's dense. Where am I holding stuff? Because density is just an accumulation of energy that I've trapped.
Wow.
So it needs to be felt, and it gets to the point where it's like, oh, fucking tight. No, it's like that. It's like so painful. It's painful, very painful. Like I had it last night, and it was being triggered by the sound journey, and it was all, my whole body was shaking. I just trusted it. How old are you? Sorry if you don't mind me asking.
24.
Do you think in 24 years you learned more than a body which took an eternity? Just put that into context.
Very naive of me to say.
So for my ego, which is an attachment to identity, Michael, this is my body. That's an egoic thought. Gives it a sense of being.
Yeah.
Whereas when you just let go, I am not this. So relaxing. There's nothing to defend anymore then. And it's this peaceful experience. You're having a serene encounter with reality now rather than a tumultuous.
Yeah.
Again, that universe hitting you with a stick, like, oh, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
So I get it. And it's that density will only ever be released when it's been felt. Yeah. And it does. You go into it like a wind-up toy, and it gets so tight. And then, and that can happen. It just goes, and then you shake it off. That's why
we do store so much emotion within the body, don't we?
I mean, look at animals. They just, like a duck gets angry, it just shakes its tail feather and cracks on because it shook off the excess energy that built up within it.
We don't.
We trap it because we don't want to feel it, and we're taught not to shake, not to cry, not to have the day off because work needs you. You can't. That's what do you mean? You need the day off to experience how you feel.
To feel your grief.
Yeah.
Don't you just need a week?
I had 6 days off when my dad died, and the guy was going, "Oh, well, when my mum died, I actually only had 2." I'm like, "Yeah, well, I see you smoking out your head, getting pissed, get addicted to work. Like, I'm sorry, but I think I need more than 6 days to process one of my life givers passing away, if you don't mind." So it shows the sickness in reality because they just want you. You're a replaceable. You're just a way of them getting something for themselves, and I forgive them because I've been there. I've used people, I've used women to make me feel better. I've used friends. Like, have you ever got angry at someone? Well, then you aren't accepting how they are in that moment. You're using them, and they are not being the way you want. Yeah. So you're attacking them for not being the way you want.
Done that.
Exactly.
Definitely done that because I've already got an idea of who I almost want them to be,
and they aren't fulfilling.
And then they aren't doing it, and I'm like, why are you not doing it?
Well, it's why we can get so annoyed. So let's give up me and my partner for an example. I get annoyed at her because sometimes she is soothing this part of me so well. She's having a good day. She's being so good at holding space. So, stroking my hair. I'm crying. She's so right. She's having an off day. She's not got the space to hold me anymore. Well, you're a dick. how you're not alleviating my suffering at all. Yeah. And that is not acceptable. So let me just tell you what you should be doing differently. So next time you alleviate my suffering better. Thank you.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
And that's where the outer Peterson come in. Just like when you fully accept that part of yourself, it teaches you how to fully accept the other on the other side. And then you
become much better human.
Yeah, and you know what? You accept them for having a bad day.
Yeah.
Because you don't need them to come and sort you out because you're strong enough to hold whatever's within you. You don't need them to do it for you.
It's breaking those like codependent tendencies as well.
And people say, I love them so much, but now I hate them because they've left me. Well, that was not love then. That was intense attachment. If you love something, you let it go. If my girlfriend happened to find a man or a woman who fulfilled her more than I do, who just aligned with her better, as painful as it'd be, then please go and be happy.
You would want them to
go
be
and
happy, wouldn't you?
So me saying you've left me for them, like what you've gone to be happier, and that's not
that's all you want.
That's not a lead, but not if I'm using them.
Yeah.
So now it was my
for
strong
your own wound, or
exactly. So excuse me, you were filling a mother role, and you've gone, and no one's filling that now.
Where's my mum? Yeah. Interesting.
I thought I'd pause it there so you could just digest what I've said, see what resonates with you. Maybe it's give you an idea why I'm so passionate about meditation, why I do the classes and the workshops and the journeys. And I've got a website just about to come out, Meditation with Michael. It's going to have a 10-day beginner's course, but so much more. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. It's coming very, very soon. Now, part 1 is done. The final episode of season 1, episode 25, will be the second part of my interview with Hannah. Well, Hannah's interview with me. We're going to wrap it up, and then there's going to have a bit of a break. Whilst you're waiting for that, though, if you're into meditation, well, why not check out episode 1 with Echo? Or we could check out episode 12 with Nikki Cohen. She's fantastic. Maybe even a bit of Antama in episode 21, 22. So I'll leave you with that. There's 23 other episodes you can go and check in the meantime. Now, any likes, you know they're appreciated. But if you don't want to miss a single one, you want to be here when season 2 drops as well, why not hit that little subscribe? Anything you do, it's always appreciated. Go check out Transmute. Their new space is ridiculous. So much good stuff coming your way. So I've put their links in the description. And Isabella Nutrition. You know how much I vibe off somebody taking care of your health. Physical health is a big part of it. So go check her out as well. And myself, of course, anything meditation related. If this is just wet the whistle and you're a bit more intrigued now and it's a bit different than what I thought it was, go check it out. There'll be that website too, but otherwise for now there'll be socials. Guys, you know I love you. So cool to know that there's an audience there who even cares what I have to say, and if one little tidbit helps you, then well, that's my purpose. So we'll leave a little break. Episode 25 is coming soon. Otherwise, guys, peace and love.